I was recently at a BLM wild horse and burro adoption event where I spent the majority of the day there filming in order to create a behind the scenes video. Afterwards, I discovered something that many of the horses that I featured in my video had in common. Let's take a look and see, but first, if you're new to my channel or haven't yet seen that video, I recommend you go watch that one first as I explain a lot in it and it will probably answer some of your questions. Let's now take a look at some of these horses and then I'll share what they have in common. First we have 4619, a gelding who stationed himself by the burro's pen and was frequently reaching underneath to grab hay. I was never quite fast enough to catch it, but it was a pretty bold move for him to be kneeling down to grab the hay. This horse also came up and said hi.
You're a sweetheart.
Later in the day, he also laid down for a nap, which is a pretty big deal for a Mustang at a busy event like this. A horse has to lie down to get REM sleep, but won't lie down unless it feels comfortable enough. 4619 was clearly comfortable enough to lie down and was also pretty unbothered when the horses ran by behind him. He continued peacefully napping, probably for another 20 minutes or so. After his nap, he went back to his station, reaching under the fence to get the burro's hay. He spent most of the afternoon there until later in the afternoon when he took a standing nap using a buddy's rump. The next horse that had something in common was 4980. This was the first horse that I touched at the event.
Good girl. You're cute.
4980 was a black gelding from Nevada. The next horse with something in common was 4877. Now this horse had multiple naps throughout the afternoon. Probably over an hour was spent just napping on the ground. I continued to walk around during his first nap, and 20 minutes later I looked across and saw him still down, flat out, and unbothered as the BLM employee walked by. He eventually got up and gave a demonstration of just how dirty Mustangs can get. That was pretty impressive, wasn't it? Sleeping next to him was 4619, the first horse we covered. 4877 began looking for his next napping spot. The horses had trailered in earlier in the week, so were probably pretty tired from that trip. After his second nap, he came up to me and said hi.
Coming to say hi? Hello.
Who are you?
Oh. Hi. Hi, love. Hey. Yeah.
A little bit later, I caught him searching for his third nap location. I'm not sure exactly how many naps he had, but it was quite a few, and I frequently caught him on the ground. You're probably starting to see some of the patterns with these horses. The next horse was 4979.
This guy is really pretty. I like this guy's build. Yeah.
4979 was one of my favorite horses there. At one point, I caught him interacting with a visitor.
Oh. Are you getting him?
Right.
Can I say hi? Say hi? Oh, yeah. They're very cute.
The next horse was 4653, sliding his way into the camera. I was also able to get a touch with this horse. So now it's time to answer the question, what do these horses have in common? Well, the answer is they weren't actually wild. But no, I'm not talking about the semantics of whether the horses are wild or feral. That's not what I'm talking about here. The Mustang Heritage Foundation has what's called a Trainer Incentive Program, or TIP program. This is an adoption program that incentivizes trainers to gentle a Mustang and then market and find them new homes. To meet the gentling requirements, trainers must have the animals leading, loading, standing to be groomed, and picking up all 4 feet. Adopters are then able to get a gentled Mustang for $125. After that process, the trainer is awarded $1,000 for a Mustang or $750 for a burro from the Mustang Heritage Foundation. Currently, more than 16,000 animals have been placed into homes through the TIP program. But unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. A tip trainer not only gentles a Mustang, but perhaps the harder task is then finding a home for the Mustang. In order for a Mustang to be eligible for the tip program, the horse must not only be gentled, but also placed into a home within 150 days of pickup. If that timeline is not met, the trainer can either adopt the Mustang and forfeit the incentive, or return the horse to the BLM to be offered at the next adoption event, which is what happened here. So the common trait among the Mustangs I showed in this video was that they had all been gentled, and that was shown by their relaxed demeanor. Now, their adopters probably will have some work to do. I don't know how long it has been since they were in that program, and chances are they'll have to do a review of some of these things. But either way, their training definitely contributed to them having a more relaxed demeanor. I also just want to encourage you to not make assumptions about tip trainers in general doing it for the money, because that is a pretty silly thing, to be honest. $1,000 doesn't nearly compensate a trainer for the amount of time, transportation, feed, everything that goes into gentling a wild Mustang. And I guarantee a very large number of Mustang trainers are probably taking a personal hit in some way, and also contributing way more than the average person complaining, probably. Anyway, I do wish the Mustang Heritage Foundation didn't have that timeline, and I also wish that it was advertised that these Mustangs had already been through a tip training program, whether it was partially or to completion. Anyway, this video was to share what interesting similarities these Mustangs had. They were all unadopted Mustangs that went through the tip program. This just goes to show the abundant need we have for safe and quality homes for Mustangs, as well as the problems we have at hand. If you haven't already, check out the full video from this event. In it, I share so much information about wild Mustangs, statistics, and how to adopt. Maybe someday you will be the one to make a difference in the lives of one of these horses.